So I've plugged in the console as normal. Of course, we have video, an audio cable, power cable. I'm gonna take a Famicom game like Bomber King, a game I really enjoy. I haven't beaten it. It's also known as Robo Warrior. Very long, very long game. It takes at least 5 hours, I think, even if you're very good at it. So I'll try the card here. Hudson Presents. Might as well try out the controller here. Start. Oh yeah, we should also check out the microphone on the second player controller. You can hear a buzzing from the sound. Now the buzzing went away. Well, the controller is not particularly good, so we'll have to fix that. Okay. But anyways, there's no glitching here in the contacts. You can hear the sound and the video is perfectly fine as well, so good. Let's check out the intro of Robo Warrior. It's a beautiful summer day, I think, with fluffy clouds. That was a short intro. We'll see if now that seems to be it. I think the demo guy is using some kind of turbo controller. I'm not the one playing now. I don't know why he uses a turbo controller actually. Well, we don't have to watch this, I suppose. Now, usually when you get a twin Famicom, that's, you know, you buy it from Japan or you buy it just in junk condition or whatever. Usually you find that the disc part here won't work. And what happens then is that, I'll show you. First of all, here's this little thing here. When this one is down, you can insert Famicom cards. When it's up, this one closes, and now you can insert discs. Well, actually, you don't have to put in a disc. You can just turn on power. Then you'll see this picture here. Then you enter the disc, and now you hear some kind of sound, and nothing's gonna happen. So that's kind of expected behavior actually if you buy an old system. I made a video before of one I just had restored, twin Famicom that looked like this one. I don't know which one you think looks the best. This one is the so-called turbo model because it has the turbo controllers here. It's one of the few. I think it's the only Famicom that was released that actually has a turbo controller. Now this one were released by Sharp, so it's not Nintendo, but it's licensed by Nintendo, so it's a real proper console, not a clone or anything. This one does not have turbo controllers, but it's red. I suppose that's nice too. And this one is also a slightly different model. You can see here it's seems more square. I'm not sure if it is, but this one is very straight lines here, and this one is actually a bit different model. You can see here also this one goes in a straight line and this one is more curved. There was actually also a red turbo model released. This one is a black turbo, obviously. The red looks just like this one, except that it's red, and I think the color here is different. The red turbo is very uncommon, actually. It's gonna cost like 4 times as much as this one. I've never had the red turbo. It's a bit of a rarity. People buy it just because it's rare, basically. That's why the price is so high. It's not super rare, but Just saying. I'm gonna show you what happens if when the disk loads the way it should. There, I have plugged in the cables there in the back. I'm gonna close the hatch here. Gonna press the power button. Oh yeah, this one also has light here in the power button. This one does not have that. We'll take the same disc here. It's a Sokoban. I'm gonna show you. It's this game here. It's a puzzle game. It's playable. There's a lot of Sokoban games. It's also known as other names like Boxel or Shove It or probably other names as well. But Sokoban is probably maybe the most best known name for this game. So just put it in there. Let's see if it works. Maybe I can show the console here. You can hear it kind of load, and then the screen comes up there. Should I play it a bit? So let's press start here. Let's just press the top option. I always do that. I don't know what it says. Now it loads. You can hear the disc load. The cool thing about discs is that most of them have a save function. And that save function is written on the disc, just like a floppy or something. So as long as the disc works, the save game's gonna stay there for years and years and years. So you don't have to worry about batteries drying. Now I suppose that this says that he was on level 9 and had a certain score. So we'll just press start here. Okay, let's see if we can solve this puzzle. So we're gonna try and get all the boxes into these positions here. This may take a while. It's important that you don't get the boxes in the corner, because if you do, you can never get it out. I have to think a bit about this. Actually, you can't see the position, I think. Well, that's how it looks, right? I forgot to mention one thing, which is that the controllers on the turbo have a longer cord. As you can see here, I put the consoles here, and then you can see here that the turbo is maybe 50 centimeters, no, 30, 40 centimeters longer than the normal ones. And as you can see, the cords are already quite short, which is why I have them on the floor, because it would be difficult to sit in a sofa. But I think that the best way maybe to, if you want longer cords, you have here's the extension port, and you can have an extension controller that you plug in, and then you can have first you plug in the extension control, and then you can have an extension cord added to the extension controller. And you can buy those things on eBay or other places. Maybe I'm gonna sell them soon, and they don't cost that much, $7-8. Then you have a longer controller, and the controller you plug in here is like it replaces the second the first player controller in many games. Although in some games it acts like a third player controller. Not that many games though. In most games it's like a first player controller replacement. So that's my suggestion if you want a longer controller cord. Now I thought I'm gonna also show you a bit more about the disk system in action, because I don't think I've shown that. So we're just going to start this up, and if you have a disk already, it's just going to start directly. Now you can see it here loading, going down. The screen comes up there, and I'm just going to show you one little thing, which is that there, you can put in a screwdriver there, and that's going to change the speed of this drive thing. And that's like a little tweak. In case you get an error message, you can put in a normal screwdriver like this one. Maybe this one's a bit too big. No, it works. just a flathead screwdriver and try and fit it in there, and see, so hits the screw. Then give it a little bit of a twist right or left. But the speed should be around the same speed as you can see that my drive has here. But usually you don't have to turn this around too much, the screw, because if you get error messages, usually the problem is not with the speed. Although you shouldn't go too fast and shouldn't go too slow. Somewhere in the middle is a good speed. Another interesting thing about the turbo is actually that it has this grounding wire there. I can unscrew it. And the normal twin Famicom for some reason doesn't have that. Maybe I should just turn it off first. So it's this thing, it's kind of a grounding thing for this part, to ground with this part. If you don't have this attached, you're gonna have some buzzing in the sound for some reason. I don't know why the turbo has it and the other one doesn't, but there are some differences actually between the turbo and the non-turbo. I'm gonna show you a little bit more. Alright, the main difference is probably with this power board here. So you can see here, this one has a small wire there, and this one has a big one. Yeah, and there's some differences there compared to that one there. When it comes to the boards, this part here, I can't really see any major differences. There's can't really see any major differences. The controller, this one has turbo controls, but as far as I know, that is done in the controller itself. So basically you could, I think, you could remove the turbo controllers here and put it into the other console here, and then you get turbo controllers. And by turbo I mean also known as auto fire. The disk drives themselves are actually completely compatible. So you could take this one and put it in here. We can also take the Famicom disk system, which I happen to have one here, which is the original disk system that Nintendo released, and it sold many million copies. It wasn't some kind of odd thing in Japan. It's actually very common. And you can just unscrew it, and basically what you find inside is you find exactly this thing. And they're fully compatible. Although in my experiences, the ones in the twin Famicom tend to last longer. I don't know if they were better quality. They're easier to calibrate. There's less problem with them. Could just be that because they're newer, basically. You can see when they were released by this date here. It says 87, for example. This one it says 86, but I think it says, maybe it says 85. No, 86. And it also says a month. So this one says September 87, right? This one says November 86. But I may have taken this from a disk system, I'm not sure. I can check the disk system to see when it was made. So I opened it up, and funny enough, it has one of these things, which is, as far as I know, this one is a newer model. That you only find in twin Famicoms, actually. This one has a small hole for the screwdriver. As you can see, I'm not sure if this one's gonna fit. This one has a bigger hole in it. So it's possible that this one was replaced and taken from a twin Famicom and put into this one. I'm not 100% sure about those things, but if you look at the number here in the bottom, it says not very high number. I'm gonna show you some others that has a higher number, and yet it looks like this. I'm gonna check some other disk systems that I have. Now we'll do that some other time, I think. So to unscrew a disk system, it's really very easy because all you need is a screwdriver. I'm not sure I can do this with one hand, so but just unscrew the screws here. As you can see, I've done this here on this one already. Then you just remove this one temporarily, and then you just have to grab a hold here of this cable here and pull the disk system out. Like, it's gonna be a bit difficult to show that. Well, there you go. And here it is. I'm not sure what else to say. This is the lens. This part moves up and down here. So it's like a spring. So it's very much based on mechanical parts. And if it doesn't work, it's usually because of mechanical parts. Like the spring may have gotten old, doesn't pull it back. It has to pull it back all the way to this one. And then it says, okay, you're back now, move forward again. And there are other things here that sort of click, and so it knows when there's something inside of it. And there are springs here as well that sort of hold this thing down, the disk carrier mechanism. And so here are batteries. You obviously don't have to unscrew the whole thing to put in the batteries. It's right here on the top. You can just open it up. And then you can put in 6 batteries like this. And that kind of batteries are actually a bit expensive. They may cost, 6 batteries like that may cost around in dollars it would be maybe $15 for 6 batteries, but they last a really long time. It's I can show you the bat, something like that. You need 6 of them, but it can be useful because then you don't have to plug in like a second power supply, which you otherwise would have to have in here. And I've heard that they last for a really long time, like years or something, because the disk system doesn't need much power actually. But if you have the twin Famicom, you have both in one, so you only need one power supply. So that is a good thing.